It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. With Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. On the sidelines, we have David Aldridge reporting. And a quick look at some of the numbers for Jason Tatum.
And guys, his effective field goal percentage is trending in the wrong direction over the past 5 games. Shot discipline hasn't been the best. He'll be looking to play a smarter game tonight.
And now the opening lineup for Boston. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. The post pair, Tatum and Porzingis. And it's Hauser in at the 3 spot. And for the Trailblazers, the guard pair are Henderson and Sharp. Jay out there with Avdia. And it's Wembanyama in at the 5 down low. And well over halfway into the season now, GA, how much have the rookies changed since the start of the season?
Kevin, most are completely different players, right? The foundation was there, but they know their role on the team, and it's more about refining their game than learning.
Here's Jay. Anytime and taking the shot and knocking it down.
Already a gifted passer, Henderson has solid vision for such a young player.
There's the screen. Tatum wide open. He fires one. Misses the 3. This game for the Celtics, it was a loss to the Rockets in Houston.
Well, I felt like they were never on the same page defensively in that one. Gave up way too many easy shots.
You cannot allow your opponent to shoot that high a percentage. That is going to get you beat night after night.
You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly
just an excellent feel for the game. Scoot Henderson understands how offense is played.
Wembanyama against Porzingis. Left side, Tatum. Avdia with a defensive effort.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
And the shot goes in. Now, here's Tatum, averaging around 27.5 points a game, one of the best in the league. Pass to Hauser. And Holiday has it in the corner. A three-pointer is right on target.
What a smooth-looking opportunity. Holiday in rhythm right there.
David Aldridge had a chance to catch up with head coach Chauncey Billups. Dave, what do you have to say?
Now, of course, I asked Coach what his plan was about defending Jason Tatum, and he said they told our guys just to play smart, to play up on him, but not get baited into fouls, and try to get a hand in his face. And that's a difficult challenge for any defense, so we'll see what happens tonight, guys.
All right, thank you, David. Looking at the Trailblazers, they took the last win in their last game against the Mavericks in Dallas.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
I thought what really stood out was how dominant they were on the offensive end. That was about as flawless as you could hope for.
And here's White following the 3 from Jay. It's to Hauser, and Holiday kicks to Tatum. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark.
Boy, the offensive flow just isn't there right now. 1 for 5 to start the game.
Drains the three-pointer.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Celtics trail by 11. And the way the Celtics can attack teams, Doris, with their 5-out set, it's impossible to fully defend it.
Kevin, there is so much space on the floor because they have shooters at every single position and guys who balance that shooting with an ability to get off the dribble drive. This is as good an offense as we've seen.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. DeAndre Hunter, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. The Celtics also. Trailblazers leading by 20. On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. The guards are Pritchard and White. And it's Champagnie in at the power forward position.
Out of their last 5 makes. How about all 5 from long range?
So it's the Celtics now. Following the 3 moments ago from Jay. Here's Pritchard. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Rockets in Houston.
He was also an excellent setup man as well. This guy was cutting the defense to shreds with incredible passing.
And it's the Trailblazers with the ball. Following the 3-pointer by Boston. The second chance effort. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, how about the body control on that one? Narrowly misses getting the deuce.
What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Trailblazers?
They've looked to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
You know, also, they've been incredible on the fast break, taking those chances, playing with great pace.
And so Chauncey Billups calls for the timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. Drew Holiday's checked in for the Celtics. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now, here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. They tell a great story. Taking a look at Toronto, they're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
Well, right now for the Trailblazers, they believed they were the best team entering the year. Others believed it too, and we've seen nothing to dissuade that assumption.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. When a team, Doris, is on a losing streak, what lessons can be learned from that?
Now, Kevin, you know this. Losing streaks seems to be inevitable in the NBA. The season is too long to go through without some adversity. What I think you learn is grit and how to keep fighting even when you don't have your best game available.
Here's White. No good on the quick 3.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
Hunter finds Simons. Let's go. And the basket by Jay. 24 points for Jay.
And this is something Simons continues to work on. Love seeing him look to involve his teammates.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldrich. What's the latest, David?
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the Mavericks was all business. He ended the game with 68 points, and he reached that total with some superb shooting from deep. A fantastic performance from him. Something he wants to repeat tonight. Kevin?
Thanks for the report, D.A. Great phenomenal effort by him in that last game.
He willed the team to victory through his talent and through that competitiveness.
Let's give credit to his teammates for continuing to find this guy. They knew he had the hot hand, and they were willing to ride it all night long.
Here's Pritchard after the made shot from Jay. Pass to Champagny. No good on the triple. Trailblazers leading by 23. Inside. Here's Hunter. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And it's White missing.
Wow, this defense is blanking him down the stretch, and that's certainly hurting his team's chances.
And we talk about Derek White, Doris. How impressive has his rise been?
Kevin, it's been both impressive and sometimes feels improbable. He was not highly recruited. There were no expectations on him when he arrived in the NBA. This guy has turned himself into one of the premier defenders from the guard spot. An excellent shot blocker. And so rock steady as a ball handler on the offensive end.
Wembanyama, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. Shaden Sharp comes in for Anthony Simons. Porzingis is checked in for Boston. Tatum comes in for Pritchard. Back to Tatum. Nice ball movement by Boston. Here's Porzingis. Good on the baseline, Jay.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Pass to Jay. And the Trailblazers, another 3.
And so many teams now look to establish the perimeter to set up everything else.
No doubt it's a growing trend, Greg, and he is highly accurate tonight.
Holiday gets the bucket.
This guy's so accurate from outside the arc. You wish Holiday was more aggressive from range.
Henderson outside. And the Trailblazers, another 3.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Now here's White. Still without a basket. Shot clock at 6. The 3 from Tatum. He can't hit that time.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Good on the triple. And now that's 35 points for Jay.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
And Jay gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. We've seen the NBA feature several overseas games, Greg, the last couple years. Always growing the sport, aren't they?
And I know the fans love it. And nothing quite like seeing an NBA game in person and expanding that opportunity, always a plus.
Simons, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. Here's Jay. And Simons has it in the corner. From deep. And Boston with the rebound. Their last encounter was in Boston.
Yeah, I mean, every time out, it's a learning experience to some degree, but that's not what they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it hurts a little more when you play well and fail to close out a game. That was one they should have won.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the division when it comes to making that lead pass.
Now a timeout called by Portland. For the Trailblazers, Avdia comes in for Ayton. And Scoot Henderson subbed in for Anthony Simons. Then for the Celtics, Hauser's checked in. And Derek White subbed in for Pritchard. Now here's Avdia. Nothing on the board. Good on the three-point shot.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
Now White. This one for three. Henderson pulls it in.
You know, he might want to think about deferring for a while. He's had his chances this quarter, but just not able to convert.
Good, he hits again.
Well, he's gone up to 40 as he continues to just dominate.
You're right. We knew he had a shot at it tonight. He is now tied for third for the most 40-point games in a season. To the middle. Porzingis can't hit.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Jay. Good! Another from three. He's really sniping them from outside.
Locked in, feeling confident in that three-point shot.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Outside Tatum. To stop the run. The shot, no good. And so it's the Portland Trailblazers with a major 39-point lead here at the end of the quarter. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. We come back right after this.
Welcome, everybody. This game revealing a big...
I love how they've kept the ball moving. Make the defense play musical chairs out there.
Musical chairs. I think you... And since we have a chance, let's see our award winners. Players of the Week. For the West, Jay.
Leading the charge for this squad, man. Hey, Shaq, he's not only scoring well, he's impacting everything in all areas of the floor. Ernie, what an amazing guy, and his consistency has been unbelievable.
Now, he definitely has the respect and trust of his teammates. Thank you for being with us. Now let's send it to Kevin Harlan for the second half tip.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. It's been one outstanding game from Jay.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but, boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
The guard pair are Henderson and Sharp. And Benyama's out there with Denny Avdia. And it's Jay in at the three, the small forward. So that's who Chauncey Billups starts the second half with. Now here's Tatum. No good on that one. Avdia with a defensive effort. Pass to Wembanyama. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Here's Jay. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Tatum no good.
And if you're looking for the main reason that they're trailing in this game, well, look no further than his shooting. I mean, he has hit exactly 0% of his shots.
And so it's Holiday with it. They'll bring it up with the Celtics. With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Well, there's plenty of scorers on the Celtics, but Jason Tatum says, I'm going to get my shots. It's just about trusting the process. From experience, I understand that I'm good enough that I can relax and defer a little bit. Then in the fourth, I can score 20 in the quarter. Kevin, it sounds like he's figured it all out.
Thank you so much. You know, he can take over at any time, and it's fun to watch. D.A., we thank you for that. Oh, and he pucks it off the glass. Wow.
Not a terrific start here in the second half. 4 attempts, nothing to show for it.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And here's Tatum for 3. Boston again missing.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in the first 5 attempts. What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
And that, to me, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
Now here's White. Scoreless thus far, and it's good for 2.
And with that basket right there, it brings an end to that 12-0 run by the Trailblazers.
Henderson passes to Jay. And another 3 for Portland.
Well, the advantage they have right now is largely based on his play. What an outstanding night.
Outside, Porzingis. Henderson against Holiday. Takes a 3. Portland grabs the miss. Jay's got 6 rebounds in the game.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Well, they're leading in large part because of the work he's put in this quarter. This is nicely done.
And Boston has possession. Up next for them, the Grizzlies at the FedEx Forum. That will be the 5th game of this 6-game road trip. Pass to Hauser. For the 3. Hits the 3-point bomb. Hauser's got 8 points.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, that 3-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Boston's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the 3rd. Porzingis passes to Tatum. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Avdia with the rebound.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through, see if you can get an easy opportunity.
And everything is dropping for them. Terrific second half run.
And I think it's been all about their offensive efficiency, shooting the lights out in this quarter.
And here's Porzingis after the 3-pointer from Jay. And when Porzingis goes to work inside, Doris, there are not a lot of answers for his side.
We know, Kevin, obviously.
And for Portland, they're shooting just phenomenal here tonight. 73% from the field. On the floor for Boston, they've got Porzingis. And it's Champagnie in at the 4-man position.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. They poured it on tonight.
win tonight, MP.
Hey, what's good? Are you still in here? How do you do that? Let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure how to even do that. I'm on my device right now. Do you have to do it from like a regular computer? don't know, man. There we go. Yeah. I'm not sure where to do that at, but I gotta go here for a minute. Oh, wait, let me see. I think I did it. You got a picture of His Greatness Air Jordan on your profile right now? Yeah, I'll be right back. How you like that new drip, though? Huh?